Hi everyone, Corey here with Team Cramer Fishing, and in this video I'm going to talk about a fishing technique that I don't see too many people using, but it can be very effective, especially on clear days where using other techniques can be kind of hard to get fish to bite. And also for trout, we're going trout fishing next weekend, so we'll probably be using this technique. And so while I was testing out some of my daughter Vivian's new fishing gear, I caught a couple fish using this technique, and I'll show a couple of them to you in the video. But it's basically a float and fly or technique, or bobber and fly technique. And there's two ways you can do this. So the bait that we're using is just a regular old fishing fly right there, and a weighted bobber. The way that I have this rigged right here is what I do is the first thing I do is I tie a Palomar knot onto the fly, but I leave a really long tag end. This one is over 2 feet, I'm gonna say. So this is probably like a 30-inch. That's probably about as long as you're gonna go most of the time. I would at least go 1 foot, because you don't want your bobber to be right next to your bait. If the fish are really being finicky, you don't want your bobber to distract from the bait. So after you tie your Palomar knot and you have your tag end hanging off, take the very end of your tag end and just tie a couple overhand knots onto your weighted bobber. Okay, so what this allows you to do is cast out pretty far. This is 4-pound fluoro-coated line, and what it does is the bobber will be over here, and as you reel the line in, it will tighten like this, and that fly will, you can flip it, just barely flip it and flutter it, and it will flutter along the top of the water. If you want to give it slack, you can give it slack, and sometimes it'll sink down. But oftentimes, especially if you're going for any kind of big panfish, they will come up from a long way under the water. A lot of times they hang out right where the water clarity changes, like just as deep as you can see. And then they're right under there. So they can see what's on the top of the water, but you might not be able to see them. And I've had gigantic panfish just come up out of the depths out of nowhere and smash these flies sitting on top of the water, especially on a clear, calm day when other stuff is being tricky. So the other way you can do it, and in the video I sort of do it like this, is just a traditional, you would connect your bobber, your weighted bobber, and these they just have a little spring that you pull, put the line in, so you can put it at any depth you want, and then you just have a single split shot below it, and then your fly is tied on to the very end. So in this case, the bobber will float around like this, straight up and down. The other way, the bobber sits flat. But this way the bobber sits straight up and down. You have your split shot, and that will pull that fly under the water, and it will bring it down just a little bit deeper if they don't want to come all the way up to the top of the water. In this video I don't have the bobber tied on because I'm on a dock, so I just have a split shot to hold it, about a foot up from my fly. And there's a big old crappie down there, and I was trying to catch him, and I tried everything, and he was getting ready to spawn, and he just wasn't interested. But that all changed when I showed this fly to him. So I'm going to show a couple clips of me catching a couple fish using this method, and then probably on the videos, the trout videos, hopefully we'll be catching some trout next weekend. You'll be able to see this, because you can float these floats down the river or stream, and that fly will follow, but it's not anywhere close to your float, so you have a better chance of tricking those trout, which are definitely the hardest fish to trick using this technique. Okay, here we go. For a 14-inch crappie or whatever he is, I'll try. He's looking at it. Got him! Got him! Freaking got him! Oh my God! I don't know if I can get it up. 4-pound line. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Putting the new gear to the test. Got him. Oh, he wouldn't touch anything. All day. I'll let you get back down there, pal. Hold on just a second. Just chill. Jeez. 12 inches. They always look so giant under the water. I mean, 12 inches is big, but thought he was a little bit bigger than that. Pretty. Okay, we're gonna let him go back there. Boom, right back to his spot. Go for that. Okay. So the way this works basically is you use your weighted bobber to cast out, and then your fly is actually up the line a little bit here. But it allows you to cast out, and also while you're reeling back in, to impart some action to your fly and keep it on the top of the water instead of sinking down. So you see how far I can cast? All the way out there in the middle of this pond. That can be really handy when you're fishing for fish that can see you, like trout. So the cool thing about this is, as I reel it in, once I see the bobber moving here, it keeps that fly right up on the top of the water. So I can give a really subtle action. Every time I tip my pole up, that fly is fluttering on the top of the water. So we're out in the middle of the pond. I don't know if anything could see it because it's kind of dirty, but in really clear water, they'll come all the way up from where you can't see them to get a little fly like this. And it looks so natural. I mean, boom, 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 just little flicks like that. And it's a really fun way to catch fish too. I mean, I'm way elevated right here, but even if you're not way up high, it works well, especially for trout, bluegill, anything. We're kind of getting into the zone here, so hopefully I can catch a fish on it. Oh, big mama. Jumped out of the water for it. Now that is fun. That is fun, folks. Look at the size of this bluegill. There we go. That's what it can do for you. Very, very nice. That is a chunky 8-incher there. Right there, you can see the fly right in the corner of his mouth, and it was crazy. He just came rocketing up out of the bottom. Rocketing up out to get it. They love that.